What comes to mind when one pictures Sparta? Is it this? Now, we all know, don't we? We all have seen infamous 300, we all know about Leonidas' battle, but in Rome 2, this is after that glory. So the Sparta in Rome 2 is a lot different than Sparta that we know in 300 and the story of Thermopylae. In Rome 2, it's right after the Peloponnesian War, and Sparta's actually kind of fading a little bit into obscurity, even though in this game, I often play them to try to crawl them back out into the glory that they once were. So, welcome Strat fans, it's me, Colonelstrat, Strategy Extraordinaire here, and today I'm going to dive into my second Rome 2 guide, this time on Sparta. The Sons of Heracles themselves, these are the go-to warrior faction for any Greek player. They have the best hoplites, they have a really good buff for their troops. As natural, they're pretty good at war. But when it comes to other stuff, they're actually in a pretty tight position. So if you like this guide, remember to leave a like, subscribe, comment down below what you like about it, what your favorite Spartan word or line is, as if we already don't know. I hope you guys enjoy this one. Let's get right into the review, starting with their campaign. Alright, so Sparta, they have these two special bonuses. They have Spartai warriors and their helot repression, which means they're better at maintaining their slaves with helot repression, and their warriors have more experience rank for any of their infantry. Their infantry is pretty elite, but again, like I said, they start on this tiny island all by themselves, and they're surrounded by Athens, Epirus, but they start at war with Epirus, so they do have someone to fight. They do also have these bonuses by being a Greek state. Independence, which means they get more melee defense during battles within their own territory, and classical heritage, which increases their cultural conversion, which is good for conquering. That way you don't have to worry about people rising up against you. So let's go into their campaign and see how their initial challenge is so hard. Sparta starts pretty isolated here, but they do have this early military target of Epirus. They're fools, they're not really good. I usually send my spy out here just to keep an eye on Epirus and see what they have. They have very low units, and then I'll pretty much get the rest of my troops here, my Spartans, my Helots, my Spartan hoplites, all that stuff. I'll try to go over there to Epirus and recruit as much as I can. Now we have Perioikoi spears, Perioikoi pikemen. Perioikois are okay. They're not as good as Spartan hoplites, of course. Gorgo skirmishers are pretty good if you own the DLC. I usually will go either of them or Helot javelinmen, a couple Gorgo skirmishers, some Perioikois, and then of course we'll have our logistics for our military unlocked. That way we can start buffing up our military. Now Sparta is a minor settlement. Athens is the capital settlement of Hellas. We start with a non-aggression pact with them, but Sparta is very warlike. Between you and me, I would actually want to go at war with Athens so I can take Athens and conquer it as one. Then we have to go down here and conquer this area. Crete, I believe Macedon is a defensive ally of ours, so we could have them help us with Epirus or even Athens, but they do have illusions of grandeur, and Macedon often falls prey to the barbarian tribes up here and the Tripolites and the Dacians. They fall victim to them pretty easily. Whereas the Parisians, these guys, don't really do that much. They kind of just sit there and gather units when they can, and they have very low tier units. So it should be pretty easy for you to defeat them with Perioikois and a few Spartan hoplites. You have Royal Spartans. Eventually you can get those unlocked as well. I would always go with the Halsoldaros barracks. That way you can get more Spartans instead of the skirmishers. And of course, Marble Quarry. I would first get a farm though, then a Marble Quarry. Just buff up Sparta as much as you can. And then when it comes to diplomacy, like I said, we have a trade agreement and I believe a non-aggression pact with Athens. For now, we can be allies with Athens until we take Epirus out, and then we might want to eye Athens up so that we can get them, and then maybe Macedon too. That way we can conquer all of Greece here. But Epirus is our main target right now, and they will be until we take them out, or the Romans come and take them off. Sometimes they do, but I really don't see that happening that much. The Romans don't come around as often as they would. For family here, we have Arius. I usually marry him a new wife as soon as possible. That way he can start getting another son. And then our son, I'll save him until he can marry. When it comes to politics, we only have one dynasty pretty much in control. Don't have to worry about it until we get to a higher imperium level. For trade, our tax level and all that, I usually bring it down a little bit just to better increase the population growth and mostly the public order, because food's going to be just fine here. Now, pretty much strategy here is just to take down Epirus here, build up a nice force here, go take him out, sit over here until you can finally whittle away Athens and then take them, because once you get Athens, you're going to get a trade port, you're going to get a 5-slot city, and then you can go take Crete pretty easily and start expanding. Maybe take Macedonia, maybe go up here to take the Adrians, go up Illyria, and then maybe even expand into Rome or become friends with the Romans. So that's pretty much how Sparta plays. They're very cornered, like a cornered dog early on, but Spartans are known for their military prowess, and they start with some nice unit ranks, and they're able to get a little bit of an edge on Epirus. And I usually don't have many problems beating Epirus to a pulp, because they usually employ mostly militiamen, and our Perioikois are slightly more trained than them. And of course we have our Spartan hoplites that are insanely more trained. That's pretty pretty much covers the campaign, first step and all that. So I'm going to go get some unit compositions ready for each tier. So I'll see you guys in those. Here we are with our army of Imperial hoplites and a little bit of Spartan hoplites and our Gorgo skirmishers. Basically to form a simple 2-tiered line defense with Gorgo skirmishers falling up behind. That way they can help the enemy while we attack them. So let's advance through this a little bit. I don't need advice, thank you. Alright, so they've formed a layered defense with their skirmishers, their javelin men in the front, their general leading the front, and a bunch of hoplites in the back. Should be a pretty easy defense to crack. We'll get our hoplites up there, start marching them with the Spartans. I think they're on this side. Yep, there's the Spartan hoplites marching right here. They don't look as good as they do in the storybooks, but that's the post-Peloponnesian War era, so it is historically accurate, but it's not like 300 awesomeness type level, you know? You should always march them with pace, that way they don't tire before they get to the enemy, because you don't want them to tire. We'll let them get a little bit further, and we'll send our skirmishers in against their javelin men. I always get a little concerned with how insane the female forces can be. They get so insane, so angry. Start firing skirmishers. Oh, the javelin men are going, but our skirmishers are going at them as well. So hopefully they do a good job. They're basically slingers, but they do have a bit of a buff to normal slingers. That's why I always bring them. All right, let's hold. Hold fast until the enemy comes to you. Let's get them. Oh yeah, they're starting to falter now. Our skirmishers are getting a lot of them. That's good. Once they falter, then they don't have any missiles, and we can just lomp through them. Alright, then we'll have them help out. Let's get them killed. Let's get them cover the flank. General, keep over here. Yeah, we've done pretty well so far. We just gotta make sure we cover the flanks. Yeah, see already some javelin men are coming back. There we go. Using some good general abilities. Intimidate and War Cry helps reduce the enemy's forces, how good they are. Let's focus on those javelin men here. These guys will focus on that blob there. It's good to focus on blobs when you can, so that you can keep the enemy dying and not your guys dying. So the enemy is dying, so that's good. Those skirmishers are going to be gone. Well, those javelin men are going to be gone. Yep, they're gone. Deal with those javelin men, and then Gorgo skirmishers. Okay, they're guarded in that flank. I could move them against those militia hoplites. Imperial are doing pretty decently against these guys. But I'd rather keep them guarding the flank. Get Gorgo skirmishers up here so they can start picking their own targets. It's always good to fire up and over your guys though, because you don't want to cause too many of your own casualties. You want to be able to fire up and over towards the enemy backline. That's why Gorgo skirmishers are so good, because they can fire up and over to the backline, do a lot of damage. We're shredding these hoplites back here. These guys are getting killed pretty well too. Alright, Spartans, show them what you're made of. Come on. Show me one. Oh, there was one. And then the rest of the hoplites are coming back here to try to push through the flank here, but Imperial hit them. Yeah, there we go. Oh, there we go. He dealt with him, and he dealt with him. There we go. Yeah, we're mopping them up pretty well. We took a little bit of casualties, our Imperial did, but not taking that many. All right, loose your volleys. Deal with those javelins. There we go. They're gone. They're gone. Let's deal with those hoplites in the back. Flank those guys. Flank them here. And those hoplites are going to be gone. And that's pretty much all Epirus wrote. Yep, they're retreating little by little. And there they go. That's a victory. That is a victory. So that was a tier 1. I hope you guys enjoyed that little look into it. These older Total Wars have a little bit more emphasis on strategy than the newer ones, because the Warhammer ones have more emphasis on magic. I hope you guys enjoyed that tier. So again, Imperial and these Gorgo skirmishes, pretty good, pretty badass. Let's go into a tier 2. Alright, here we are again. This time we've replaced our Yorkois with our Spartan hoplites. Insanely better. And then we've also got some Helot archers by this time. You should be starting to get some archer units to complement our skirmishers. We are going to go up against Macedon here. Again, you don't want to tire your units out. You want to try to march at a steady pace as you're getting to the enemy so you don't tire out, because if you tire out, then that's going to be a huge debuff to your units. Even if they're more skilled than the enemy, you don't want to tire out. There's the Macedonians up on the hill. Let's just try to get up to the Macedonians as much as we can. The high ground isn't as advantageous as you think in the ancient world, so it may not be as good to get high ground as you would think it would. Alright, now we're running to get here. Archers, deal with them. Alright, come on guys. Let's overwhelm them. Okay, we're doing okay. We're doing okay. Hit their javelin men. Alright, we've actually got a nice line here. Going up against some regular hoplites and all that, but we're getting more kills because we are Spartans. I know our general's under attack. I know they are. He's under attack by javelin men. But don't worry, we got missiles attacking those javelin men right now. We'll raise banner. Rally. Oh, there we go. They're starting to rout now. The enemy javelins starting to rout now. Yep, there we go. Loosen those guys. Deal with those guys, those javelins. They're coming at our Royal Spartans' behinds. We actually took a lot of casualties with those Spartan hoplites here, even though these are just foot companions. Yeah. The pikes, they can be problematic for hoplites. Dealing with the pikes with archers is always looked well upon. Yeah, I know they're wavering, don't worry. We're sending support their way. Well, we lost a Spartan hoplite unit, but that's okay. It is just because those foot companions, that's what it was. The heavy pike infantry, but we're dealing with them. We're pelting them. We're doing pretty well still. We're still in the upper end. Let's see, some... Pikes are pretty good against hoplites because they just keep them at a distance, whereas against regular hoplites, the Spartans do pretty well. Against pikes, they don't do so hot. Pikes are good against hoplites and they're good against cav. One of our archers used all their ammunition, but that's okay. We're starting to pull the tide, even though some of our Spartans are dying really fast. Yeah, some Spartans took too many casualties, I gotta say. Our Royal Spartans are doing really well, though. Swordsmen are really good against hoplites, too, because they can get within the enemy forces. Still kicking ass, taking names. They're only fleeing because there's so little left. I know! That's the thing, their units are running from the battlefield, too. It's these pikemen, man. These pikemen are killing me. They are killing me. Figuratively killing me. Yeah, they're tired now, but the balance of power is still in our favor. Raise our banner and rally everyone. Now, they have swords, so they can get within them and actually deal with them. Now, the Macedonians are fleeing the field of battle too, so it's not just our guys that are fleeing, so don't get too worked up about it now. Facing a tougher foe with different units, like thorax, swordsmen, pikemen, things like that, it's going to cause you to have some tension within your ranks, take a lot of casualties, but eventually we're going to pull through, because we're Spartans. Now we've started to pull through, so now we're going to start charging, deal with those hoplites there. Come on, shoot them. Shoot them, come on. These pikemen are ridiculous. There they go. Now, the Royal Spartans are really good too. They're being able to deal with the enemies. Ugh. Yeah, whenever that happens, you're gonna have them saying that constantly. Army losses are finally kicking in. The enemy's going to flee. So like I said, the reason why that one was a little bit more tough because we face different types of troops. So that's where Sparta starts to really suffer, is they have to rely on their hoplite wall, and they can't really do that anymore as enemy swordsmen and pikemen come up against them, because those guys do really good damage against hoplites. They're a really hard counter. So that's why we suffered a lot there. But tier 3, they really start to round out, and I'll show you guys just what I mean, because you can also apply some more mercenaries as well as access to siege engines as well that help out the Spartans a whole lot. So let's go into that one now. Alright, here we are with tier 3. So we start this one with some Royal Spartans and Heroes of Sparta. These Spartan heroes are probably one of the best units that Sparta can field, but they can only have 2 in an army. So these Spartan heroes will have to be used very sparingly, or enemies that we know need to die. And we also have a couple onagers back here. I'm going to equip them with flaming shells, and then we're going to have our missiles go up there. We have Royal Spartans, so these Royal Spartans are really good, going to be really effective against these enemy forces. They're even taking a lot of hits from our onagers too. Now we have flaming onagers, so we're going to be taking even more casualties from the flaming rounds. And look, they've already got almost half strength on those hoplites right there, those mercenary hoplites. So we're going to fast forward a little bit. I'm just going to halt these guys so that the hoplites can get ahead of them. Go up against them. Go out, get them. Let's get them a little closer. That way we can focus 2 archers on their archers at a time. Focus the onagers on their archers too. Alright. Once the archers are dealt with, then we can support our Spartan boys. Look at that, they're getting picked off one by one. Oh, there they go. Help the Spartan boys. Help the Spartan boys by attacking the Thracian nobles. The onagers help out a lot by doing a lot of destruction. You just gotta make sure that we don't hit our own guys, because that would be disastrous. Alright, our Spartans are doing really well. Really well. Let's see them in battle here. Come on, Royal Spartans. Show me how royal you are. Oh, there's one. Oh, another. Yep, they're really cutting them down. Oh, they're pretty much gone now. That was an easy victory, because our Spartans at this point, the Royal Spartans, are just so insane. And plus, if you've been using the same ones, you'll get a lot of XP. Again, because they start pretty higher up, you get to tier 9 for XP really fast. So we dealt the serious blow to them. And again, Royal Spartans, Spartan heroes, archers, and a couple onagers will just destroy anything in your path. I can highly recommend it for a late game. Of course, this is only vanilla. Sparta has a lot of nice mods that add really cool units. I would advise, especially the ones that add like Spartan sword infantry. So those ones are really good. Now that wraps up a tier 3. I will meet y'all in the end screen when we wrap this up. Alrighty, so that was Sparta. Hope you guys enjoyed this guide of how to stomp kick your enemies as Sparta, conquer the Mediterranean as the powerhouse of the ancient world. So hope you guys enjoyed this one as much as I did making it for y'all. Remember, as always, to leave a like down below, comment what your favorite quote of Sparta is, and of course subscribe to the channel for more guides like this one. So like I say every time, remember to keep it strategic, strat fans. Colonel out.